Here I was just relaxing, doing some fishing here, and I've been doing some science on the fish fighting and the reel mechanics here, much like I do in Way of the Hunter. And I thought maybe I would make a little video just to sort of show what I've learned. But right now I'm losing this guy. Ooh, hold on, doing too much talking, not paying attention. I was out here fishing for some channel catfish up in the corner. Got a bit of a mission there. This guy's fighting real strange though. He's really kicking back and forth. And goodness, I gotta get this guy under control here. He's gonna spit the hook. What in the world do I got on here to start the video with? Look at him pull the reel. And then he charges. Well, this is an interesting start here. I got 70% on the drag, and I'll get into that in a minute once I figure out what in the world I've got on here. I've been playing quite a bit actually, but I haven't had a fish fight quite like this, where they're charging all the time. So I'm quite curious. Now I am in metric at the moment, because to do sort of the science part of it, I need the numbers to be a little easier to calculate. Oh my goodness, we're going to have to go up on the drag here. I'm going to lose them. 90%? What is on there? So, what I wanted to talk about, get this guy under control if I do, is, well, this is one of the problems with when I've been trying to figure this out, is I don't have the strongest setup on at the moment because I've been trying to do really good fish fights, getting the good setups for having some good fish fights, no matter the size. Well, the size that you're targeting. But this guy is larger than the size I was targeting, 95%. And one of the things I'm going to point out is I'm at 95% and I can still do the fight. That's because of what I want to talk about in the video. I've been watching quite a bit of information on the angler, and of course everybody certainly play how you want to play and all that good stuff. But I mostly everybody I watch just kind of muscles all the fish in. There's not really much of a fight with it unless you're doing like the really big guys. But I always like the fish fight part, kind of like this, right? And I like to fight like any kind of size, pretty much the one that I'm targeting. And right now I'm sort of targeting around, 2 to 3 kilograms. Not very big, right? So that's, 5 pounds or so. And so that's what my setup is for. But I have the reel on in a way. I have the setup in a certain way that I can't really break the line unless they spool me. So that's kind of a bit of the point of the video. Because I come pretty much from Fishing Planet, and I was always treating the setups like it was like Fishing Planet, or more like real fishing, but I'm certainly no expert there. But this is more arcade fishing for sure, but that doesn't mean that they don't have a really good system in here for fish fighting. Now see, he's not spooling me though, and I am able to hold him with this setup at 95%. So this is a really good fight actually to start with. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get this guy in here. Typically I've been doing the fish fights holding the rod up like this because you get the rod strength with it. And goodness, what is this guy? And you can monitor the reel a lot better, holding it up and seeing. I mean, I can keep him here, but I can't seem to get him in any further. This is so right now the weak spot is my reel, and the reel is why I can't bring this guy in. But the reel and the rod is what makes most of the fish fighting fun, and the reel is actually the main part. There, did he? Oh, yeah, I lost him. Look at that. I want to know what fish that was. I haven't had them charged like that. So that was cool. Now I lost the... I probably could have gotten him if I had more experience with whatever fish that was. And maybe if I wasn't jibber-jabbering at the same time. But yeah, I wanted to make a little video here just to sort of demonstrate how I've sort of... or how I'm doing the setups there that make the fish fight kind of fun. More than just muscling them, of course. But if, like, I was going for the diamond yellow perch there. I've got 3 of them now. And I'm never, you know, it's okay if you want to do some simple fishing where you just kind of, you got an overpowered setup and you're just kind of pulling them out of the water. But once in a while, it's good to, you know, do a good fish fight at all sizes of fishes. Because I wanted to do a fish fight on, you know, a diamond yellow perch. I just didn't want to just yank a diamond perch out of there. So I was doing some science on the rod and reels. And trying to figure out, you know, if you pick a certain size and target it, then that size can still give you a good fish fight. So the setup I have right now is, I wasn't aiming for anything too heavy out here. I know it's channel catfish, but I only have to get a silver, and I want... you know, it's still to be a decent fish fight. Now, I don't actually know what a silver catfish weighs, so I actually should check that before I came out here. But I brought some gear with me so I can adjust the setup if I need to. Okay, so bronze is about 4 pounds or so. So maybe silver might be too heavy for the setup, so I might have to change it up. But we'll keep it here for now, just for fun. And I'll sort of show you what's going on. Alright, so I'll try and explain here now. Now, I don't have a fish on, of course. But a lot of it is going to be about that tension that's in the bottom right there. The little circle. The tension line. Little tension circle that's focused on how tight the line is. Most people that I've been watching, and this is how I was playing too, is when you're watching that tension line, of course, if it's not tense enough, you can increase your drag. You know, it starts down at 30% or so. You increase it up, but I see in most setups, you can never really go above 50% on the drag before the line will max out. And that's always kind of confused me a little bit, because when we're making a balanced setup with, you know, like a 6-pound line and a 6-pound reel, then you think that would be more balanced, right? That the 100% should be at the 6 pounds, and, you know, 50% should be about 3 pounds tension. But it gets a little confusing, and I've sort of figured some of it out, and I'll try to explain what's sort of going on. So my goal was to figure out how to use the full range of the reel, from 10% drag all the way to 95% or even 100%. Because if you're only going, you know, from 30 to 40%, you're losing a whole lot of flexibility within the reel, and that kind of flexibility creates is what kind of helps create the fish fight. And so when you got a matching reel and line, so 6 pound and 6 pound, for example, you can never really use more than half the reel. Like you're sort of limiting your drag settings, but that sounds like a balanced setup, right? But how they have it in the game is it's just the line and just the line that breaks. The rod won't break, and the reel won't break, and so you get a bit more flexibility there on how to set this up. And I started to realize after doing some tests, like a whole bunch of tests with different fish and different reels and lines and everything like that, is that that tension, little circle on the bottom right, is just the line and line alone, and what's creating the tension, filling up that little circle, is basically the tension that the rod's creating from the fish plus the reel. So what's happening if you have a 6 pound reel and say the rod itself can take like 3 pounds in the bend, even though it's like a super strong rod, most of the strength of the rod is not actually being used most of the time. They have it set so, depending on the action, this is a fast action, the rod will take on a certain amount of force as well. So essentially, if you got a 6 pound reel and the rod's, you know, taking about 3 pounds of it, or is able to take about 3 pounds in the bend, and like a normal fish fight, well, you get 9 pounds total on that line, and basically we're using a 6 pound line. So that's sort of where it comes in, because if you set the reel to 3 pounds, 50%, and the rod's still taking 3 pounds on top of itself, you have 3 pounds plus 3 pounds, 6 pounds breaks your line then. So that got me thinking, oh, that's what seems to be going on here. Yeah, so anyway, so I thought, well, what happens if we just do an unbalanced setup where the reel is a lot weaker than the line? And what happens then is something that I have here. So I'm going to open up this setup right here. And I'm still looking into this, but this seems to be what's going on. So you're going to see like an imbalanced setup here, and a lot of people will be like, "What's going on there? That doesn't make any sense." But for an arcade fishing game, it actually sort of does, and how they have it set up, but only if you want to try and, you know, have a specific fish fight, you know, at a certain size. So now it's going to be in kilograms here, but I'll try and say both numbers to a point, right? But mine's in kilograms because it makes the numbers a lot easier to do the science with, and that's how they basically designed the game. And looks like they just kind of threw in the imperial conversion era, you know, after everything was done. But what I have here, the rod is important, but it's not so important. Like the power is kind of important, and the action, and that's just going to govern how much tension the rod adds to the reel that adds up to the line. So basically it's you know, rod plus reel, and then you sort of want to get it to balance here. So you want rod, reel, and then to equal how much the line will be. So in this case, by my math, even though this has a max line strength of 7 kilograms, like really high, and a strength of 14 kilograms, when I'm doing a fish fight, you know, it's adding about, I am going between units here, but the pound's a little bit easier to explain. It is taking about 3 pounds of tension, like on the rod, or adding to the line itself with the rod, and then we add it together here. This is another 3 pounds, so it's a 1.5 kilograms. So I get 3 and 3, and I get 6. So basically, since this is a 3 kilogram line, which is about 6 pounds, 6.6 or whatnot, when the fish fight you just seen, I was basically holding him at 95% there, and I wasn't filling up the entire drag. So I had the full drag percentage flexibility to use to fight the fish. Now, in that example at the start of the video, he was just too powerful for the reel, because I was only aiming for 3 pounds, 4 pounds sort of fish. But that was my goal, right? So when you do this kind of setup, you have to be kind of okay on losing the big fish, because your goal isn't really that sort of thing. It's just to sort of add a different little bit of fun to the game. But essentially, that's sort of what it is. You pick your line weight that you want, and then go with a lighter reel. If you go with a lighter reel, it will open up that drag setting a lot more. And we'll do a couple fish fights here, and I'll just kind of show you what I mean. Now the video's been going on for 14 minutes, but it's oh, I just had somebody splash right here. There's a fishy shadow. Oh, you're right there. So let's throw it out here. I've just got minnows going, and we might get somebody too big again, because I am a little light for what I should be doing right here. But I'll try and demonstrate if I get, you know, the appropriate way to fish. Like if it's a bronze catfish, that's kind of perfect. I'm hoping it can handle a silver, but for all I know, that is what I was fighting. So we'll hopefully get like a bronze a catfish here, and I'll sort of show you how, even, you know, if you're doing this kind of setup, how even that could be a decent fight, instead of just yanking them, muscling them right out of the water. Now I am still learning all this, and but I do, you know, science videos for Way of the Hunter, And so I can't help myself but try and do science videos on this. Just because as far as I know, no one's really analyzed how the mechanic from the rod, the reel, and the line specifically works. Everybody I've talked to or seen just says it doesn't equal up, and they just let it be, and that's fine. But for me, it bothers me not knowing exactly what's going on, and so far that's pretty much what I've kind of figured out. Because if you set your drag at 50%, but the little tension line goes beyond 50%, if you have a 6-pound line and a 6-pound reel and you set it at 50%, why is the tension going beyond 50%, like up to 75%? It's not because the numbers are off, it's because the rod will add tension to the line on its own, and it will change. And that's hard to measure how much the rod is, because it will change depending on what rod you're using. But that's basically what's happening when you're setting yourself at 40% drag, and the whole tension circle's filling up, which is like, how does that make sense, right? If I have a 6-pound line and 6-pound reel, and I only got 2 pounds of drag on there, how in the world am I breaking the line? Well, it's because the rod is accounting for the rest of it. So basically you can get away with a lighter reel just to try and balance it out. So you get that full range. Anyways, hopefully I'm making a little bit of sense, because if you get the full range, it's you can really fine-tune the fish fight. And I'm hoping I can demonstrate that if a fish actually shows up. And what I mean by that is you can actually adjust the drag to the point where you and the fish are tied. You can pretty much hold them right still, and then you know exactly how hard he's pulling. And if you release the drag a little bit, it'll take the line out really slowly, and if you pull the drag in more, you'll start reeling him really slowly. It's kind of cool, because they did some good animations and stuff on the reel. You can really get a good feel for the different reels. Here's a fish now. He doesn't look too monstrous, so maybe this won't work. I think it's a catfish. I think it's a bronze one. So there we go. And I just got to turn up my volume. I turned it down there for the little song. Oh, see, this guy's too small. I'm not going to be able to show this one. Yeah, this one's like an instant defeat of the fish here. So he's too small to show this. Oh, because this is a white fish. Like, he's not even a kilogram big. Alright, well, thanks for showing up there, fishy. But I want something a little bigger than you. Alright, so let's go again. I think catfish are anywhere around here. Let's just try this side. But moral of the story is, try a lighter reel on than the line. Like, if you got a 10-pound line on, try an 8-pound reel or a 6-pound reel, and you'll sort of see what I mean. You'll have a bit more flexibility in the fight. And, you'll be able to go up to 60, 70, 80% drag and have that whole range before maxing out the tension line. And I basically set it so I can't really break the line with the reel. So the only way I lose the fight is if I get spooled. But, the obvious downside of that is if what happened earlier, if I get too big of a fish on. But, that's, well, that can happen with any kind of setup, right? But I think most people just keep going out with their max gear, right? I don't even think there's any penalty to going out. I was measuring some of the XP and gold doubloon gain per fish, and I didn't really notice a difference depending on the setup I had. It was all the same, but maybe it starts being a factor when you start using really heavy stuff against the fish. I don't really know. I didn't notice any difference in the money or XP if, say, I put like a little 2-pound line on versus like a 6 or an 8-pound line. Like, I haven't really been fishing with anything too heavy. I don't have it all unlocked. But yeah, so it is fun to just go out and pick your spot and then get the heavy setup. But most of the time, you're 9 out of 10 times you're pulling in the. Oh, here we go. And we got a bigger guy. Is it gonna be the same thing? Did I lose all the big fish? See, this guy's coming right in too. You're not big enough either. Nope, not big enough at all. What am I catching? Oh my goodness. Oh, it's a silver. I guess I can mark him that he's here, but he's only a ½ kilogram silver brook trout. Get out of here, brook trout. Oh, here we go again. Which one's this one? Are you gonna put up a fight for me? Give me a nice example. Oh, I think so. Okay, there we go. So this guy is taking the line. So I like to do the fish fight holding the rod up here so I can see the tension. So you can see how fast he's pulling the line out, because that definitely spins at different speeds. And what we'll do is we'll just crank her up to 50 and slow him right down. There, that was easy. Pretty much I found exactly where the balance is. See, we're exactly tied. If I loosen it up, I can actually fully control how much line he takes. There's just a little bit. I can speed up and let him have some more. And I've got the full range to lock him down, and it's nowhere near breaking my line. So, and this guy, he's not too big. He's probably, he only got 50% on there. Let's see if I can do the math, try and figure out how much, because we got 50% drag on there. He's probably only, see, everything's in metric too, and I'm trying to do the calculation in my head to imperial. There, see, now you can pull him in there. Oh, it's another neat thing I noticed is if you do have a fish on there with a really light reel, which this is a light reel, you can actually see the setting, because you know how it has a max drag strength and then an actual max strength of the reel. They are two different things, because the drag is the strength of preventing it from unreeling, and then max strength is the ability to wind them in. And you can actually, I don't know if you've seen that before, but when you start doing these very precise kind of fish fights, you'll get it where the reel's actually not strong enough to reel in, and it's just kind of neat to see, because they actually animated that as well when the wheel goes clunk and can't do anything. We're gonna get this guy in. I wasn't really doing the math there because I got distracted. But we pretty much got him. But that was a nice little demonstration there. How you can fully get a feel for him. Yeah, yeah, 1.5 kilograms. So that's 3 pounds. A little more over 3 pounds. And let's see now. That was at 50%. Well, yeah, that's right. So the reel was 1.5. So the reel and the rod together are able to overcome that, right? So you can always do more than the reel can do on its own. If that made any sense, I'm not sure. But he was the exact same weight as the reel's drag rating is, and it had no problem with it, because the rest of it is the rod taking on that, helping the reel out. Or helping, not the reel out, but assisting the reel hold the fish. Goodness, this is kind of hard to explain. But hopefully some of it's making sense, and I would just recommend give it a little go. It's kind of fun. We'll probably do one more here, see if I can get a good fish fight in. I should probably tweak the setup actually, and because I'm not sure this one can hold a silver catfish. Alright, there we go. We got a bite. Let's see who we got here. Well, we got lots of tension, but I'm already starting at 50%. Let's loosen it and just try and get a feel. He's probably another bronze then. So there. He's pulling it out. Can let him have some line. Go to 40%. And there, we've slowed him right down. You can hear the little click, click, clicks as he just pulls tiny amounts, and he got tired. That was just enough, so you know exactly how hard he's pulling. And you can just hold him here, and you can actually keep him. You can actually tire him out. Now it's not very exciting, you're doing this, but you'll actually start trying to reel them in and everything like that. But eventually, they actually do completely tire out. There, so we can start reeling in. And it's just a nice kind of a slow reel. But you can do the normal thing where you drop it down, take in the line. He reels in faster when it's lowered. And then the character always reels in a bit slower when you lift it up like this, as the rod takes more of the power. And there. So this is going to be another bronze one. Kind of piece of cake. But see, it's not just straight muscling them in, right? You can do a bit of a fish fight. Get a feel for the fish a bit better. There we go. But yeah, I think this is going to be another bronze one. 1.5 again, probably. Yeah, 1.6. Yeah, so pretty much the same. And there we go. Well, I guess maybe I should be coming at nighttime. So what I will do... I need to get a silver somehow. Let me try and figure out my setup here to do that. Because, wait, let's find out what hook I would need. Alright, darn. The biggest hook I brought was a 6. That is still a little better because it at least forces the bronze range on a catfish. And I have found that that does encourage the larger size, so hopefully 6 will help. I'm just double checking here. Yeah, so, because I was on a 7, so that kind of makes sense. So the 6 definitely brings it up into at least forcing a bronze level. We're going to keep the minnows, just because minnows are my favorite, and of course the most expensive. And I like the float fishing the best. But what I'm going to do is, just in case, we're going to go to a 4 kilogram line. And normally you would go, okay, 4 kilogram reel, but I'm actually going to keep it in half. We're going to go with the Tyro, just a 2 kilogram. Oop. There, because I know it might seem silly, but you get a couple kilograms strength out of the rod and a couple kilograms of the reel, and then that should be almost enough. I shouldn't be able to break this line with this reel. I could actually increase the reel a little stronger. Maybe I should do that a little bit. Max is 3. Maybe we'll do the Belta, because it gives me a little bit more drag. Let's try the Belta. There. And hopefully that's a good balance there, even though it seems kind of silly. With an arcade fisher like this, and that if I'm correct in how it's working, and it seems like I'm pretty close, that should do okay. So there we go, minnow. And let's see if we can, now that at least we're forcing the bronze range of channel catfish, even though it's early morning, time is at 7, it's not nighttime at all, maybe we can get a silver here. Let's give it a go. Oh, and if you've made it this far into the video, that's amazing. You've done it this far. But if you haven't made it this far, if there is like a YouTuber out there that has sort of analyzed all this, definitely let me know. I've looked up the guides, but most everything's just hotspots. Go here, go there, diamond here, diamond here, diamond here. Not too much information on the actual mechanics and stuff, how it works. Some of them, there's definitely some info out there, but there's a lot of I feel and I think kind of thing going around there. So, oh, there's a fishy right there. Oh, but you're not going to be what I want. All right, because if someone has done this, that would be really kind of cool. I usually watch like KP Shimino or whatnot, and he does pretty good with the mechanics of fishing games. He seems to be looking at this one more these days, so I'll have to keep an eye on his channel. But you can tell KP Shimino, he's trying to science the game. He's you're watching his videos, he's saying how he's sort of working on it and trying to piece it all together too. So it's fun trying to science how some of these games work. Alright, we got a fish interested. I can't tell what fish it is though. What do we got here? Alright. Go. 40%'s already got him paused, so he can't be that tough. Yeah, we got a nice little slower reel in on him. We've overmatched him only at 40%. He's not even that far out. Oh no, he's pulling the line there. See, when I dropped it down, I no longer had the rod's assistance on the reel. There we go. And then he was able to overpower it. Ah, silver! Yay, I did it! Oh, he's not even that heavy. Oh my goodness, that was too easy. Alright, so that is also a mechanic that I haven't really seen too far yet, or anyone really mentioned. They just say that the hook size just rules out the smaller fish. But I have found out that it actually, while it doesn't rule out the larger fish, it does minimize the chance that the larger fish will bite those. So you still got to be close, because here's an example right here. I was using a 7 hook, which is which is open to all stages of the fish, the juvenile and up. And all I did was move it to number 6, which moved the 6 into the bronze stage, and I got a silver. Now that could be just luck or whatever, but I have noticed that previously. I've done that before. If my hook's been too small, I haven't, hey, 21. If my hook's been too small, the silvers aren't biting it, or the golds aren't biting it. So as soon as I bump it up, then all of a sudden I start noticing them. So I think there's something in there. But I'm not fully up to speed on all the people sciencing this. But that is an example I have seen before. As soon as I move the hook up a tier, because before it was still sitting in the juvenile tier, now I moved it up to the bronze tier, and that sort of, while the juvenile tier didn't rule out silvers, I think it decreased their chances a lot more, and just moving it up to the bronze tier just increased the chance for the silver. Actually, I should have taken my setup back down, because I was expecting more of a fight from a silver one. I didn't want it to be that easy. Well, this does not look like a channel catfish. What in the world do we got here? Are you gonna put up any kind of a fight? Not really. 40%'s got him. Oh, no, he's taking a bit more. Come on, I want a good fight. Oh, we got him beat. All I needed was 40%. Gotcha, beat already. But this is what I recommend. Make the line a little, like the reel, lighter, and then hold the rod up like this, and you can kind of look around and see the fish. And you can really watch the reel, because it changes speeds and everything like that, and you get a good feel, like how slow you're turning that reel. You can get a good feel for it there. Now he's getting weaker, and he got really weak. And then he got second wind, and he's gonna pull it out. And it's just different than, just reeling in the whole time like this, and just, reel, and then he pulls the line like this, and reel, just reeling the whole time. It's just kind of I like the feel of it better. Just something to try. Here we go, bronze northern pike. Alright. See, the game is just addicting. I should be turning the video off, but maybe we'll try one more. What is a good spot? What is a good spot? I've been casting right here, but there isn't really too much activity. Oh, I heard a splash. Maybe I should change the locations to the back of the boat. And, oh, see, something just jumped over there. I do want to go to the back of the boat though. I haven't cast out right here. I haven't cast out in this direction yet. So let's do a little one here by these rocks, and then maybe we can get a good fight in here. I have really begun to appreciate what they've done with the game here, and what they did make here. Once you realize, and not looking for a fish simulator, and you're realizing that's arcade kind of fishing, and that's kind of what you've accepted or are looking for, they've really done a lot good with the game. Like the fish fighting that I'm demonstrating here is really well done. I like how the rod and the reel feel. That's good. But they've really done a really good job with the sounds and everything like that, like the waves lapping against the boat. Very relaxing. There's a fish jumping over there to the left a minute ago. Extra little splash sounds. It's pretty cool. I do certainly appreciate how relaxing the game is here. Not too sure I'm going to get a bite though. It's been sitting out there for a while. Oh, who do we got here? Okay, this will be the last fish of the video. Let's see if he's a good one. Survey says not very strong fishy. Yep. Oh well. Hoping to get a bigger one. Oh, there he goes. Get in here, fish. I can sort of secure him. I can't here. We're going to increase the drag here just to make sure I can get the full. Get him right to the end here. There we go. Then I can lift him out. Oh, yeah. The sturgeons, they never really fight too hard for me. Not 2.5 kilograms. Alright, there we go. Not too bad, though. So hopefully, you guys found that a little bit interesting. If you're playing the angler, that is cool. I just find it, you know, gives you a couple different ways to fish. You can just go in with your heavy gear and just yank them out of the water. Or if you're looking for a bit more specific entertainment there with, you know, trying to fight a channel catfish that's not super heavy, or trying to fight that diamond yellow perch or whatever. Actually, that one's really tricky. When they're down below a kilogram, it's actually really hard to get a setup light enough for them to actually put up a fight. So, but anyways, that's it for now. Thanks a bunch for watching, everyone. Happy fishing in the angler. Take care. See you next time.